Just a second. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I wanted to just come on for a moment to share with you. Some of you may have already seen the graphic and the announcement, but I know that Facebook algorithms are, special and ever changing. So I wanted to come on this Sunday afternoon and share with you and invite you to an upcoming chat that I'm having. It will be on this coming Tuesday, June the 15th at 8 p.m. And it's a chat about a topic that many of us don't necessarily want to talk about, but it is a necessary conversation. I'm going to chat about having proper insurance. Yes, proper insurance. As you know, I'm like the caregiver to other caregivers. And in talking to so many caregivers, and not even just caregivers, but people in general, they're one of the things that caregivers particularly though have shared with me is that, gee, Teraleen, there's so much that I wish I would have known uh, before I got thrust into this role of being a caregiver. And so, with that in mind, I'm embarking upon this series, if you will, called Care for the Caregivers, where I will be sharing some of my experiences. I will be engaging other subject matter experts, such as on this week. I will be introducing to you and bringing to you a subject matter expert on the topic of insurance. Her name is Tanoa Morgan. She is the owner and proprietor of Miss Insurance Agency. So she doesn't just offer life insurance, but all types of insurances. But primarily, we're going to talk on Tuesday about having proper life insurance. And this is one, again, that is not just for caregivers. This discussion can apply to everybody, you, and you. Yes. Do you have adequate insurance? Is your life insurance solely a policy that is tied to your job and to your employer? So if you're separated from employment, will you then lose coverage? Those are some things we want to talk about. The difference between whole life and term insurance. We want to talk about that because, again, a lot of times people don't like to have these conversations, but they are necessary conversations because, like, as we saw this last year with the pandemic, so many people departed this earthly life, and the number there were so many requests out for help, solicitations to help pay for burial expenses. And y'all know I'm a real talk kind of chick, and the reality is that GoFundMe is not an adequate substitute for having proper insurance, my people, my brothers and sisters. And so Tanoa is going to talk about the need for insurance. She's going to answer questions. She's going to talk also about how you can get insurance and secure it affordably, how you can get affordable insurance. So I think that this is a conversation that is necessary. And we're going to talk about how you can have these conversations with members of your family as well. Because I know, I've lived it, that there are some in our families who, like, I don't want to talk about dying. I don't want to talk about death. But we need to have these conversations because, listen, as difficult as it is to lose a loved one, when it happens, it's even more difficult and stressful and frustrating when you've got to also figure out how you are going to pay for necessary expenses. And when you've got to figure out in the midst of grief, and you're, especially when you're the responsible person or the executor or whatever, when you've got to figure out who's got money, you got to ask people to pull together money in the family, and then if they don't have it, all kinds of additional stressors that we can really prevent. Some of this stuff we can prevent. And some prayers God doesn't have to answer. Some things we don't have to lay before the Lord because He has given us the ability now to make some things, to put some things in place and set some things in order. So join me on Tuesday. Join Tanoa and I on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then.